Okay, so we are gonna continue to part 2. Let me just make sure that the stream looks good. Okay, everything looks good. Alright, so let's get started. So yesterday, well, first of all, let me delete some of these Boolean objects here. Okay, and I'll remove them. Or just hide them. And we don't need these. Well, we need them, but I don't need to see them. So I'm just gonna hide them all. And that looks good. So I decided that I want to add lights over here too. So I'm just gonna take this cover, duplicate it, move it on the Y axis. Same thing for the left. And that looks better. And then I'm going to duplicate these both. And then grab it on the Z. And then give that some kind of material. Let's see what we can do. This one, and we're gonna make it, let's see what we can do. Okay, so it seems like this is not transparent. Yeah, so we need to make sure that it's set to use this same texture. Not sure why it's not applying it. Oh, it is. Okay. It's good. Oops. Alright. So, just gonna check that material. And it looks like it's too dark. That's the problem. That should fix that, and yes, it does. So let me make sure that this is all level. And that looks about good, but let me bring it up and just give this yellow maybe, and we'll see how that looks. Bring that down. And then I also want to bring this down, the light, because there's a little open space here that I'm going to leave. And we'll turn that intensity way up. To like 100. For some reason this won't pass through the light. So that should be set to 1. I'll apply the scale just in case that's the problem, but nope. Let's see, maybe it's something in these settings. I'm just gonna actually delete these and just duplicate this one more time and see if that fixes it. And then I'm gonna bring it over here. That is weird. I'm not sure what's going on exactly. Maybe I gotta change the refraction depth. Could that be it? Maybe something to do with the normals. Let's apply the mirror. Undo that actually and bring that to the top and then apply that again. Okay. And go to edit mode here and see if anything crazy is going on with the faces. So mesh, and we'll try that again. Seems like it's seeing the transparency, but for some reason this light is not going through it. I have no idea, but this one's fine. Let's just see if I give it a glass shader. I'm gonna have to investigate that. Let's see if I'm gonna change some of these settings here. I think I know what the problem is. I think I know what it is. So I remember, if you remember in the other tutorial I made, the one last time, we baked the lighting. I could be wrong, but when you bake the lighting, I think that kind of locks in the reflections and refractions and doesn't allow you to add them again or something. And this is kind of a bug, but also not exactly a bug, but it should be fixed sometime, I hope. But anyway, I'm going to delete the lighting cache, and it should fix the problem, but it didn't. Let's see. That is weird, it didn't fix it. I am going to research what's causing this. Let me try something. It seems like this light is working. So it's something to do with the light itself. Aha! This is the problem. So it seems like if you enable screen space refraction on the light, you don't want that option enabled, and that was creating the problem. So that's what caused it. You probably don't want to use screen space refractions on a light object because it's not glass. So that was the problem. And I'm just going to take that light, the yellow light, and I'm going to just duplicate it again and move it down to the last one. And let's see how that looks. And this one, for some reason, is not... okay. We gotta delete that. And now it's working. Glass is there, and everything seems to be working fine. Okay, but I do notice there's some shading stuff I don't like, and that would be around here. It kind of looks pixely, and this is because this is coming down to the limitations of Eevee. Could change some of these settings. So I select that, and let's see what we got. Refraction depth. I think I could change that and make that just a little bit more. And that can tend to reduce some artifacts sometimes. And that looks a lot better. Yeah, so you have to put some small value in here, like 0.1 meters. Makes it look a little bit better. And I like this design, but I think what I'm going to do is change these two lights on the edge to be different colors, like blue. We can do blue, and then we'll keep the strength at whatever this one is. if we can select this. And we'll select the blue and set that to be also 100. Let me just bring that up a little bit. Something like that should be good. And there we go. We got a really nice looking object. So, okay, so I thought of this, and we need to add more. And we're going to add basically a mesh screen to this to give it a sci-fi look. So, what we're going to do is take this object, and we actually got, no, we need this one. We're going to duplicate it and apply every single modifier except the bevel. Oh, didn't want to apply that. Okay. And then we're going to take cube. Let's take a cube and then grab it on the X. And what we're going to do is scale that approximately to the size. And then I'm going to use this object to cut into this. Okay, I need to enable the Bool tool add-on, which comes default with Blender. Okay, and that should work. Yep, and I want to grab it just so we get the bottom part, and let's fix the shading, auto smooth. There we go, and we could drag that down just a little bit like that, and you see it kind of takes the shape that the object had, if that makes sense. So I'm going to apply that, and then I'm going to take this and I applied the boolean. I'm going to press V to rip the vertices from the object, delete the cube, and then fill this whole thing in with another face. And there we go. So now what I'm going to do is just approximately make sure the face size matches, which it does. And I'm going to take a cylinder, 32 vertices is good since this is very, very small details. Let me just save so I don't lose anything. Scale this way down. And we definitely need the array modifier. And then another array, but this one set to 0 and this one to 2. And we can offset that by, wait, let's see, I want to get it to move in a diagonal. Something like that, I think is good. A little bit more. So it looks like a mesh screen more. Let's put it to 0.1. That should be about good. Now, we need to make sure this is even as can be. And I need more to the side. I think constant offset might be better. More fine control, which is better. Something like that covers the whole thing. There's probably a better way to do this, but I'm just gonna do it like this for now. And now we can cut object. Control minus. It's gonna take a while. And there we go. Oh. I think I want to change something. I don't want these holes on the side. So I'm gonna undo that. Take these cylinders. Make them bigger. We could take the number down a little bit. And let's do that one more time. That's a better look. And let's adjust some stuff here. Shade that smooth. And I want to delete the ones that, well, first of all, I gotta apply both arrays. And I want to delete the cylinders that are creating problems in edit mode. So I'm just gonna select the ones near the edge that I don't like this one, this one, this one, this one. This one is too close to the edge. These three. And then we'll delete those. Let's take a look at it and see how it looks. So let me just go back to bounds. And that looks pretty good, but we got a problem here, so we gotta go back. Actually, that one, I'm not gonna delete it, I'm just gonna move that to fill in that spot. And overall, that looks fine. Doesn't have to be perfect, since this is a very small detail. I don't want that there. I think I'm going to delete this one. So this edge looks pretty straight. I don't want it to look like slanted. And let's delete these two. And I don't want these two either. And that looks reasonable. I could pull these to the side just a little bit more, but It's just a small difference here that may help. Yeah, that looks pretty good. We'll go with that. So I'm gonna go down to the Boolean tool and apply that. Or no, actually, yeah, I could apply it. I'll apply it, and then I'll add a bevel. And angle. Apply the scale. And we need smooth shading. Oh, well, we got auto smooth. Let's do 6. And we could turn that up to 0.008 maybe. That might be a little bit too much. 0.004. Or point should be fine. But I think I'm going to go up. And there's some slight problems with the bevel, like that corner there, but you won't even notice it as it's such a small detail. I'm not going to go too crazy over it now. And yeah, that looks great. So let's just duplicate that and continue adding these in. Actually, before we do that, there is a bad artifact here that I need to fix. Very bad artifact, and that's this. I'm just going to delete this edge, or dissolve it. Well, I need to have these connected first, and then I could probably delete it. Yeah. And just like that, the shading artifact is gone. And I'm just going to get these parts aligned. That should be good. And that looks great. Let me just fix the position a little bit. Because it seems like I should x-axis. Yeah. And I'll also fix the other ones. can also bring it down a little bit, like that. And that looks pretty good. Let's just bring these down with these ones. And now we'll just add the lights. And just kind of line that up. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect, since it's just the light. I'm gonna make it green. Right? And we'll just do that on all sides. Whoa, that is way too bright. Something like 500. gonna make it red. And the material has to be changed. And that looks pretty good, but I'm not sure I want that rust. Let's browse through some more and see what we can do. That's the same material, but I want to make it a little different. Let's see. We can change it to be... No, I don't want to do that. We can make it more of a silver color. That looks kind of cool. Yeah, that actually looks great. But I'm gonna see if I can do anything different. I'm gonna look at a reference and see. Can't decide on the color. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna keep it silver. You don't want to go overboard with the colors. It's very easy to, but things less interesting if you do that too much. So just play around with the roughness. Something like that should look good. A little rougher maybe. Like that. And I think these lights are too strong. I'll half their strength. That's a little better. Okay, and I want to put something here. So I'm going to do that. Taking the floor and apply all the modifiers. Bevel. Okay, So let me do that. I noticed there's a lot of frame. Okay, so I'm back, and let me just take a look at the stream and make sure nothing is going crazy. For some reason we were dropping a lot of frames. I think it's all the modifiers and stuff. Let's see. Okay, so I'm back. It looks smooth, the stream, so I think everything's working well. Yeah, everything looks pretty good. Okay, so let's get started again, and I think the reason why it was dropping frames is because of all these modifiers that I added in. So if it starts to lag again, the stream, just let me know. Yeah, so luckily that seems like I fixed it by just restarting it. Okay, so let's see, what was I gonna do? I was gonna add an object right here. So I'm gonna add a cube, and then I'm gonna take this object and just duplicate it again. Yeah, and so far no frames are dropping, so everything's all good, which is great. So I'm gonna apply all the modifiers again. And what we can do is use this as our cutter again. And what? Okay. So I'm going to scale it down. So that this part. I'm sorry, I'm just seeing and I notice frames are dropping again. I have no idea why. Let me see if I can fix this. Probably have something running in the background that's slowing things down. Okay, I think that should help. And it looks like our frames are not dropping anymore. So anyway, we got this object. And let's just take a look at the regular mesh. And I want to fill in this here. And also this. Or actually, we don't have to worry about this part, just this. Just this part. Okay, and I'll just adjust that. Like that. And then I'm going to apply it. Okay, and I don't need these faces. Okay, I think everything's working right. Let me just see how everything is. Yes, everything looks better now. All right. Okay, let's get this started.